Finding that, I forgot their name. Finding that strange. We have a few more sailors, so if anybody else wants to jump in, that's totally fine. Let me just get a few more things set up here. It's right on the dot. So while I'm getting set up here, we're going to go around the room, starting at the top. So Fresh to Salty, you'll be first. And just give us your names, if you would like, where you're at, the type of boat you have, and just a quick intro. We've got a lot of new people here, so we'd love to meet you all. So Fresh to Salty, you're up.
Okay, so Fresh to Salty, that's our boat name. I'm Latrell. This is Steven. We have 3 teenagers on our boat, Callan, Katie, and Lexi. We're currently in Rockville, South Carolina, where it has suddenly became kind of cold. We're on a 40-foot Jeanneau DS.
Sweet. Finally.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in a coffee shop. It's a little loud, but I'm Madison. This is my wife, Tiara. We have 3 kids. Peyton is 2 years old, Riley, she's 7, and then Gabby is 13. And we're in Daytona, and we're on a Hunter 466.
Super cool. Live Slow.
All right, our boat name is Live Slow. I'm Star. That's Renee and Pepe. And we are currently in Eleuthera.
Star, hon, your screen is off.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it? Okay.
you're on Teacup.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what that means. Teacup.
Teacup, I don't know. Let me see. I might be able to change it.
If you just touch your own square, it'll come up and you can turn the camera on.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Square.
touch your own square, then turn your camera off, and then turn it back on, and then hit save.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have. I have controls for everybody else. I can turn everyone else's camera off or on. Yay! There you guys are.
Is that a threat?
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I thought I was already on.
Yay! You guys are good. Now we can see your beautiful faces. Okay, go for it.
And so yeah, we just got to Eleuthera yesterday, and I think that I answered all the questions. You want me to do it over again?
No, you're fine. I think we're good. It's all good. Cameo?
We are SV Cameo. I'm Arnie, and he's Blaine. We have 3 kids, but luckily they're not on the boat with us. We're empty nesters.
Oh.
So we're originally from the Seattle, Washington area, and we are currently in Martinique on our way to Grenada on a Leopard 40 sailing catamaran.
Awesome. Another cat. Woohoo!
Yeah, we were kind of out-monoed there for a minute.
Yeah, we're totally out-monoed.
But now we got 4 hulls to 3.
Yeah,
so.
Seriously. Sailor Sean?
Hey guys, my name's Sean, Sailor Sean. I'm on a 30-foot monohull. I'm in Key Largo. I'm all by myself. I've been living on this boat for just shy of 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's
I'm sorry,
cool.
where did you say you were?
Key Largo.
Key Largo, that's right. Oh yeah, we were talking about lobster season.
Yeah. I did pretty good on the first day.
Awesome. Congrats. That's so super cool.
I wish I was closer, man. I would totally come get those lobsters from you.
I'd give them to you.
So my name is Captain Matt. I am a Texas singer-songwriter, independent singer-songwriter that uses my 35-foot Gemini sailing catamaran as my tour bus to go all up and down the Gulf Coast and perform and sing my music that we have out, which can be found on Spotify, Apple Tunes, anything like that. And apparently my song is Randy Joe's, what'd you call it? It's your soundtrack?
The soundtrack to my life. But I think it fits for a lot of us. It does fit for a lot.
And thank you, Sailing Cameo. Wait, wrong way. Sailing Cameo, for using my song "Sail Away" as well in a video. I'm excited to see it.
It makes life so much easier when somebody knows the life you want to live, puts it in lyrics, and you don't have to worry about what it's going to say. It made my life a lot easier at about 2 a.m. last night. Yeah. So thank you.
Super cool. Hannah?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I live with my husband and our dog on a Moody 425. and we are currently in Titusville, Florida.
Awesome. A lot of Florida people still. My name is Randy, and I live with my husband and son and fluffy dog Bella on a 2002 Fontaine Peugeot Athena. It's a 38-foot, and it's a catamaran as well. And we are getting into being empty nesters as well. So the hubs and I, right now, we're in Stuart, Florida, and hopefully September 1st, fingers crossed, we're going to be sailing north, hopefully to the Chesapeake area. So that's our plan. But you know how plans go in sailing. They don't.
Yeah, we were supposed to be sailing today, and we are not.
Yeah, exactly. Things change, right? Okay, well, cool. Now that we've introduced ourselves, I do want to thank our viewers again for being here. I see Finding is blowing up the gifts down there. It's super cool. So again, if anybody does want to follow, you can click on the individual sailors' faces and follow them. You can also gift as well. We will be taking comments, and for some reason, my computer version of this app is not loading, so I'm unable to see comments right now or respond. So I'll do the best I can on my phone up here. But you can send questions in the chat below, and I'll try to write those down, and we'll get to Q&A at the end of our questions. So today's, let me make sure I lost my notes. I'm a mess today. Today's topic is sustainable boating and living in sync with Mother Nature. So if it's okay with everybody, we'll just go from top to bottom. I answer last, so like fresh to salty would be first. And we'll just go through, I think we have 6 questions. And if you could, try to keep it to like 1 minute of an answer, and then we'll just keep going around the room and answering to the best of your ability. Thank you. And then if you don't have an answer, you can say pass or you know, we don't know, or that's fine too. There's no wrong answers here. So we're going to get started with the first question, which is eco-friendly practices at sea. So to kind of start us off, what are some practical steps sailors can take, or anyone really in general, to reduce their environmental footprint while cruising? Okay.
So only move when the wind's blowing. So you're using your engine less and using less diesel. There's obviously that.
Which we are not great at. I mean, we would like to sail everywhere. We use our engine way too often. It just don't sail to a schedule. That's the key right there.
Hear that? Any other tips?
Not really.
That's a good one.
You're better than we are doing.
That's all good. Finally, you guys have any tips?
Oh yeah, I mean, we try to sail everywhere. Obviously, not just for the environment, but our wallets. So it's tough. I would say it's probably tough for us with 3 kids. We especially with provisioning, because you got to have the snacks. So just trying to your home port. That's kind of where you do your biggest provisioning anyway. And you get rid of those boxes, you break it down as much as you can. I know we're going to kind of hit on that a little bit more, but we try to be as leave it like better than you found it. But I'll be honest with you, with kids, it's not the easiest.
Perfect, thanks. Star?
My turn. Okay. Well, when I first started cooking on the boat and stuff like that, I was using styrofoam, and then another sailor, I just didn't know any better, and another sailor that we met turned me on to paper plates, paper items and stuff like that. So I do choose that, even though it's more expensive. I think more paper products, more, and being in the Bahamas, there's no plastic bags at all. So stuff like that. So we buy the bags. Like we bought a couple at the Fresh Market in Nassau the other day. We buy the bags or whatever, and then we just keep them all. And then when we go to the store, the next time we have one more extra bag. So we're up to like 5 bags, 6 bags now that you just recycle. Recycling, I guess.
Yeah. Are they like the reusable bags?
Yeah, the reusable bags.
Cool.
You might want to keep some of those with you if you're in the Bahamas, or you're going to end up having to carry all your little items. Like, yeah, you either have to buy the bags and reusable bags, or they may have boxes for you, but you can't count on that. So.
Sure.
Anyway.
Perfect. Cameo?
I'd say the biggest thing we notice when we're set on anchor in almost any of these ports is, and it's expensive, but it's solar. It's the amount of solar, the amount of generator. We don't have a generator on our boat, but we're still the boat with the most power in the anchorage. But I mean, we spent our generator repairs and fuel costs up front on solar, and then sold our generator for the last of the battery bank we needed to. And it has allowed us to never run a generator on the boat. So, as I know our neighbors just a few minutes ago, I was worried before we went live that it'd be really loud because they were running their generator. It made me think of this answer.
Yeah. So people like you guys because you don't really run a generator, right?
We don't have one, so yeah.
You're the quiet ones in the anchorage. Maybe.
Quiet with generators, but
yeah, quiet with generators. That's awesome. Sean?
I like to use Dr. Bronner's.
Cool.
So you can use this to clean. You can even use it to like brush your teeth. Since all of my gray water goes overboard and into the water, like most of you probably, I just go for the most eco-friendly option.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. And it's good for a lot of things, too. Great. Captain Matt?
So I guess, I mean, we're going to talk a lot more about other things like solar and stuff like that later. So, but obviously that's a huge one for me. Hoisting the sails as much as possible. Trying not to have a schedule, because if you have a schedule, you have to put that engine on to maintain course. So I always say live on island time as much as possible. But the other thing is definitely use all biodegradable stuff as much as you can. When you don't have that option, then I would say the best thing you can do is just not buy it. find another alternative. Because the one thing I will say about, and everybody will agree with me, when you're out sailing, you'd be surprised on how many trash islands we go by because people throw their stuff out, and it's a sad thing to see. And so I'm definitely going to do my best not to contribute to them.
Great. Hannah?
Yeah, so a lot of it's already been said. Biodegradable soaps and shampoos. I choose to use shampoo bars and for shampoo bar and conditioner bar because it's a lot less waste. You don't have the plastic bottle or anything else, and they last a heck of a lot longer, which is more sustainable because you're also not having to buy it as much. And I can get it from like a small woman-owned business, which is really cool. We don't use paper towels. We use reusable paper towels or rags. We don't use any plastics. So we use stasher bags, which is like a silicone reusable Ziploc bag. Just no single-use plastics. Picking up trash whether it's on the water or on the beaches to help prevent it staying in the water or on the beaches. And then obviously the most obvious one is to sail instead of motor when you can. And then being aware of both your light and sound pollution is important both for everybody's surrounding you's experience. So those boats that pull in to the anchorage and they have every light on their boat and are blaring loud music all times of the day and night, it just doesn't make it as enjoyable for other people. That's another form of pollution that people don't talk as much about. By all means, have a good time, but like there's a time and the place, and there's a way to be respectful of the people around you.
For sure. Sailing Rhapsody, I put you in here. Did you want to answer to any ways that sailors can have a more environmental footprint while cruising?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so we just pulled out Rhapsody's gas engine and went all electric.
Sweet.
It's been a fantastic conversion, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I know I'll be one excited to follow that journey. That's really cool. So speaking of engines, we did have a question pop up that I noticed, and Mark had asked, are gas engines generally cheaper than diesel? I think that's what he asked. Or let me check here. Yes, are gas engines cheaper or is diesel?
I think for us, diesel is cheaper, a lot less expensive. We can go a really long time on one tank of fuel, but that's also because we always have the sails up too. So I don't know if we really use less diesel because it's diesel, or is it because we're sailing? I'm like, we always try to have sails up.
I mean, it depends on what boat you are and what your displacement is and how big you are. I mean, like Geminis, a lot of the older Geminis, I don't know about the current ones, but a lot of the older ones, they have gasoline outboards. I mean, I don't know what rate of fuel that they go through.
Compared to the diesel?
Yeah, compared to diesel. I mean, we roughly do half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon an hour, and if we're going cruising speed, that's about 6 knots, so 6 miles for every half gallon, something like that.
Precious Salty, you are on a Gemini? Did you say that?
No, we're on.
No, we're not. No, we've had friends on Geminis that had the outboard motor.
I know the Sea Winds as well. They have gas engines.
Gotcha. I know for us going so slow on a diesel engine, it definitely saves a lot more money than we see some of our neighbors on these big sport fish that have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, burning.
I have a story about
funny story about that.
So we were in Staniel Key trying to get hold of diesel, and this sport fisherman boat had come in, and they started filling up, and this went on for an hour, and they roughly put something like 1,000 gallons of diesel into their engine, and it was over $10,000. The machine actually stopped at $10,000.
So they had to stop, pay up, and then start over.
And he said, I mean, the guy without a blink of an eyelid just handed over a credit card to pay for it, and I said, well, how long will that last? He said, about 8 hours.
10,000 hours for 8 hours. Yeah,
that's insane.
I would have literally.
So moving on to waste management. Let's talk about waste management.
Well, can I just add one thing, Randy Joe, on that? So I have a Gemini, and it's a 27 horse diesel engine. And I can by far tell you it's the most economical way other than gas, because I literally use 40.5 gallons to go from Florida to Texas.
Great. Yeah. Not bad. And you're... Yeah. What was that? Does somebody have a question?
Was that about a half a gallon an hour?
Yeah, about a half a gallon. Of course, I mean, I was sailing a lot, but and you don't burn anything when you're sailing.
Exactly.
And I also think you use less fuel if you when you're motor sailing than if you're just motoring.
Oh, by far. And I mean, most of my fuel consumption was once I got to Louisiana into the intercoastal and you couldn't get the wind. So, I mean, I'd throw up the jib every once in a while, but it, just to kind of, I would go from, and it was, everybody's going to laugh when I say this, when I would get 5.5 knots and all of a sudden I'd throw up a sail and I'm like, oh, I'm at 6. I was so excited.
There's a celebration on our boat.
We're not laughing.
We're not laughing. We're right there with you.
Everybody.
I'm always super
for 2 years.
Putting a head sail up in the ICW though, because I feel like maybe if you have one with a Yankee cap, but we don't. I can't see, and so I don't ever really put out the head sail in the ICW. That's why I prefer to go on the outside.
Us too. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. It's waste management on board. How do you manage waste, trash, recycling, black water, while ensuring a minimal impact on marine environments? So, Fresh and Salty, do you guys want to kick us off on that? Waste management?
Black water, we use whatever is available where we're at. So we'll go to a marina to do a pump out.
If there's pump outs, yes, you can go to pump outs. Otherwise, you're on like...
Obviously, in the Bahamas, you can't do that. So you do what everybody else does.
We're on a 3-mile plan for a pump out.
Or you go out for 3 miles.
Do you guys want to explain real quick what the 3-mile plan is for those that don't know?
So most countries have a distance away from land that you're allowed to go and empty your waste tanks.
So once you're 3 miles offshore, you can open the black tank.
So,
I think for waste, the other kind of trash and stuff, though, I'm definitely on board with the reusable bags. And so we did our own like T-shirts and stuff, and we did some bags. So I have a bunch of our own bags, and then any of our people that we follow that does their own merch, if they have bags, I'll buy a bag off their merch. So I have like a collection of grocery bags that are cloth bags with different people's logos on them.
And then we've got a buddy boat that they crochet their own bags.
Yes, we do have a buddy boat that she crochets a lot of her own bags.
What a good project.
Yes.
Anything that's like food waste goes overboard. We let the fish and the sharks eat it. Anything like plastic, paper just gets crushed down, and then we take it to be disposed or get rid of it. And then any oil's very difficult to get rid of at the moment in the US because most marinas don't want to deal with it. So you have to go and find the nearest auto parts store that'll collect it and take it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great tips. Thanks, guys. Finally?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty similar. During the hurricane season, we're in Daytona, hunkered down here, so we don't usually go on the boat. We have a shower house right at the front of our dock, so we'll do the number one in the boat. They do pump out weekly, and everything else is off the boat. So we kind of limit that. But cruising, I mean, it is what it is. You try to use facilities if they're available. If not, then, you know, three nautical mile line is it for us.
Yeah. Very cool. Star?
So we do get pump outs, and we were able to find one place in Nassau that did pump outs. It was $36, and it was at Palm Cay. I don't know if we're going to be lucky the rest of the way, so we may have to end up doing the 3 mile, thing. But I would rather not. I'd rather not do that. So hopefully we'll be lucky everywhere we go. I doubt that, but and you have to do like a lot of calling around and finding out because you can't just go to every marina. But it took a lot of asking questions to find Palm Cay and Nassau because that was literally the only place. So.
Wow. You'd think there'd be more, but that's nice that somebody at least has the option for the pump out. Mm-hmm.
They also hard to find.
Very hard to find.
Gosh. Cameo?
I think one thing for us that we've started practicing is not bringing it onto the boat. So we actually had a couple of Canadians making fun of us for this, but when we go shopping, we take our 2 big dry bags, and then we have this rolling cooler. So we kind of look like a traveling vagabond going to the store, but then we sit outside the store, and if it's like a 12-pack of Pepsi, we'll take the cardboard and everything off there and load up the cooler, and it's really nice for the heavy stuff or the produce to stay fresh. And we kind of divide up like canned goods in one backpack, or like the toilet paper so it doesn't get crushed. But we kind of stay away from all the bags in general and disassemble at the store before we leave, so then we're not having to get rid of it on the boat. Because a lot of these islands, even if you throw the trash in the receptacle at the marina, if you're here long enough, you'll watch that windstorm just send your trash right back at you.
And then also we try some places in the Caribbean. I feel like not as many places recycle. Like it's harder to find recycling areas. But I have noticed on the French islands, like Guadeloupe and Martinique, where we are right now, there's actually more recycling stuff than there is garbage, which has been really cool. And then also, like, this is just like a French Pringles, but instead of the plastic top, it's actually cardboard. So we try and look for things like that just like don't have the plastic to begin with. And then another thing is like securing the stuff on your boat, even like paddle boards and floaties and that sort of things, I cannot count the number of things that we've rescued from the water from people who don't secure their stuff. And I mean, we didn't properly secure our dinghy at one point, and we went swimming to go get it. So we're not like, judgmental, but we do try really hard to secure things to make sure that they're not ending up in the water unnecessarily.
Perfect. Sean?
All right, so I have a 3-gallon bucket. It fits a grocery bag perfect. So I use grocery bags because it's easier to store your trash at that point instead of like a big trash bag.
Cool.
And most of my stuff, like after I'm done using the whatever was inside of the packaging, is usually either plastic or paper. So the majority of it is recycling. And for the Blackwater end of it, in the Florida Keys, there's actually a pump out service. A boat will come to you once a week and they pump you out, and it's free. All you got to do is make a phone call and get on the list. That's probably another reason why I've been in the Keys for 10 years, is because it's so easy to live here in the Keys. You can anchor wherever you want. They come to you once a week and pump you out. It's pretty easy living.
That's awesome. Can I just say I love your visual examples. Well done. That was awesome. Great idea. Captain Matt?
So very similar to what Sailing Cameo does is I repack everything that I buy. So if it shows up in a plastic something, then I'm going to then repack it into, the container that I keep on board, and then don't bring the trash onto the boat. And that really, really helps reduce, your footprint for sure. And then the other upgrade that I think was probably the best thing I've ever done. It's amazing. We got rid of our Blackwater tank completely in our boat, and all I have is a composting toilet. And the composting toilet uses peat moss, and it is absolutely amazing. It doesn't smell at all, whereas a Blackwater tank will. And so we'll use that. And so we always say, if you gotta go number 2, then go into the boat. But if you're a guy or a girl that can, go over the rail, then use number 1 on the outside.
I was going to say that, but I, for some reason, was a little embarrassed.
Oh.
I call that a direct deposit.
A direct deposit.
There you go.
That's awesome. Hannah?
Yeah, I would say obviously minimizing your waste is the priority, and that really starts when you're shopping or buying anything for the boat, whether it's food related or not. Being mindful of buying things with less packaging. So instead of the vegetable that's wrapped in plastic, buy the vegetable that's, naked, or being mindful of anything you're bringing on board, like everybody else has kind of mentioned, unpacking any package and responsibly disposing of it. I think Sailing Cameo mentioned, like, a lot of these dumpsters, it blows right back out. So being a part of like responsibly disposing of it is making sure it's being disposed of somewhere that's not going to blow away, or in a dumpster that is emptied regularly enough to not overflow and create litter in other places. I guess the biggest thing, everyone's really seen it before, but is reduce, reuse, recycle, and compost when possible. So like if you're purchasing something that might have plastic waste or some other type of waste, finding a way to reuse it, whether like that container is the container that you empty your oil into and then bring that to dump somewhere, or maybe that's where you put your spare screws, or what, like finding a way to reuse anything that you can for as long as you can, to prevent just creating mass waste.
Bingo. Rhapsody, anything to add?
Pretty much the same as everybody else. So we do a lot of repurposing, repackaging into reusable containers, that sort of thing. Well, the majority of our cruising has been river sailing. So as far as pump outs, we use the marinas quite a bit. But we've talked about researching the composting idea. It sounds like a great idea.
Well, you know who to talk to.
That's all right. So yeah, a lot of repurposing. You know, we keep plastics off the boat, that sort of thing. Repackage before we bring groceries and that sort of thing onto the boat. Try to limit as much trash underway as possible.
Perfect. Yeah, we're here in Martin County, where Stuart is in Florida, and they also have a weekly pump out that's free. So again, you just call every Sunday. We call, and they arrive every Tuesday at 11 a.m. right on the dot. And so that's been great for us. But pretty soon it'll be the 3 mile line for us as well once we're traveling. So we'll see how that goes. We do the whole thing of take the cardboard off, leave it at the grocery store, try to repack everything before we bring it on. We also try to go to, if there's a fresh farmer's market or something like that, then you're not getting that packaged stuff. You're just bringing it home fresh. So that's another tip from us. Let's see here. Next question is, and I did see Mark's question. We'll get to that at the end about fishing. Alternative energy sources. What renewable energy solutions, solar, wind, etc., have you found most effective for sustainable cruising? Fresh to salty?
So we use solar. We've got 1,700 watts on board, and then we've got 600 amp hours of lithium. For the majority, it just about sustains all 5 of us. Obviously, when you've got teenagers on board, they're charging their phones, using their laptops,
Playing the video games.
So, I mean, for the majority of everything that we need, that's more than enough. The only thing we use the generator for is for our water maker, because that requires a lot of power. And then, like today, I mean, we've had 2 days of clouds, so there's no way it's going to keep up with that. So we'll use it to top off the batteries. We've got no space for wind generator, so
I wish that we had a place to put a wind generator.
Yeah.
So we just said, yeah.
And then we haven't got room for a hydro generator either, so we haven't bothered with that.
Just solar.
Let's start somewhere. Yep. Finally.
Solar. We got a 1450 in solar. We got 3 kids. 3 TVs running during the day, PS5 going, laptop. I work remote. As long as when I also have a remote job, so I do a lot of remote work. So the laptop, but solar is really, especially if it's a good day, that's all you need. The batteries don't come off 99. We got 600 amp hours of lithium, and if you have a bad day, the batteries go down a little bit. Wind generators, someone can prove me otherwise, they're pretty useless when it comes to the power that solar can generate. We do have a generator. We use it for the AC if we need it, but that was when our daughter was a baby. She's 2 now, so she's a little more withstanding of the heat. But solar, it really rarely I see the batteries come off 99%. So.
I'm gonna let Renee say this one.
We have
perfect
when you did all the solar. And
we got 30 amps from the solar panels, 10 amps each, and then we got 600 amp hours of lithium. I need more solar so I can charge more. Other than that, we run our two refrigerators during the day, or all day, and the Powerlink and the couple of television. That's enough for us.
Well, we do have a Honda though, so it's not that loud. It's really pretty quiet, and we use that for like the computer when we need to use the computer or anything that uses like the ice maker and stuff like that. So.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Cameo?
We definitely, we're solar. We have, what number did you just give me?
2640.
We have 2640 watts of solar and 1800 amp hours of lithium.
We dumped it all in the beginning.
Right. We thought we were going to buy a bigger boat, and then I started thinking about it, and I went out with a few people, and conserving power out here is like the #1 dream. You know, it sounds horrible. It sounds gaudy, but to be able to provide ice to our guests is a luxury out here in some of these anchorages.
Yeah.
And then a mixing elbow, just a mixing elbow for our Northern Lights generator was $1,000. So when that generator went out, it's a lot easier for us to just buy 2 more solar panels than it was to decide to invest more into that generator.
And also we did convert to all electric for like all of our kitchen stuff and everything. We have no propane on the boat. Before we purchased, we did a lot of research, and it's like I actually think it is here in Martinique. Like, they don't have propane, it's butane. So then you have to get adapters, and you have to see who will fill your tanks, or maybe you have to buy separate tanks. So again, with like reducing waste, and then it's a dinghy ride into town to get those filled and stuff. For us, it made more sense to just go all out on the solar and the batteries to begin with. We have completely eliminated a whole fuel source from our boat. And I don't know, we just kind of felt like that was the better way to go than otherwise.
I like it. Good consideration there. Sean?
Well, another visual. So 1,240 watts of solar and just shy of a kilowatt in lithium batteries. So I did the same. I'm getting rid of all my propane, and I've been buying like different. I've got an omelet maker, a George Foreman grill, a little crock pot, a air fryer. And so I switched over to electric just as you did.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous right now.
Matt, what about you?
We have not converted from propane, but I don't think I will in this boat. Randy and I have talked about it. I'm eventually going to get a bigger boat once we have to start touring with the full band. But I had a bigger boat, a Lagoon 46, and it was just way too big for me. So I ended up getting the smaller boat to be able to sail around on. I do have 1240 in solar. And I used to have the AGM batteries. That I think I had 3 AGM batteries in the battery locker, and I just converted those over to lithium. And I actually was able to fit 6 lithium batteries in the same place that I could do an AGM. It's crazy, and they're lighter, and so obviously you took a look. So I got that 0.1 extra on the knots because I'm not carrying as much weight. And so that's probably what we do here. So.
Super cool. Hannah?
We also run pretty much everything off of solar. We have 1,000 watts of solar. And I mean, I would love to have more, and we would love to convert our batteries. We still have lead acid, but we've got bigger projects going on at the moment, so that's something we'll look into down the road. But a fun fact is both of us used to work for a company that they were building boats that are completely emission free, so they run completely off of solar, wind, and hydrogen power or hydrogen propulsion, which is really cool. And they're catamarans, fully carbon fiber, beautiful boats. So that my passion is sustainability, and so that was a really fun company to work for and learn a lot about sailing vessels that can be completely self-sufficient, but was something that we would never even be able to dream about affording.
Oh gosh, Rhapsody.
Yeah, so like we said, we just went all electric. We have everything is electric now. Motor to all of our appliances and everything is fully electric. We don't have solar yet, but that'll be the next phase of this big project, to be fully electric, fully self-sufficient.
Gotcha. Well, for us, we do solar, of course, as well. We don't do wind just yet. We've kind of thrown around the idea. It could just add on that little bit of power, but our solar and batteries do just fine. We do have the lithium as well. Another thing that we're thinking about is maybe now converting to the electric. But I have a question though. What do you guys do? So we have a propane stove inside, 3-burner stove. Well, what about the outside grill, like a magma grill? Propane magma? Anyone have that? What do you do for the outside grill part? Cameo's laughing. I want to hear about what Cameo has to
I will
say.
post a video. I can't even describe what I did.
I think actually I think the video that's pinned on our TikTok page is a barbecue video. Do you guys know what like the green eggs are? Like the ceramic barbecues? Well, he got the custom made aluminum.
It's cast aluminum, but it's marine grade cast aluminum.
And
it's called a blaze Kamado.
And we actually have to use the main halyard to move from the back deck to a locker while we're under sail.
Can't wait to see. Okay.
Yeah, it's a full size barbecue. I like boats and barbecue.
Yeah,
so.
we love food.
Sweet.
So,
and I've seen the solar ovens too. I've seen those as well.
Yeah.
So that's an
we
option.
we buddy voted for like, I don't know, 9 months with somebody that had a solar oven. Mm-hmm. It is high on my priority list. Very high.
Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And have you seen those little bags that you can like bake cookies and stuff on if you just put it out on your deck? It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
No, I need some of those too.
We do have a question pertaining to this topic. Mark asks, what solar brand panels are the best quality? Anyone have a tip on brand? I know we have Bougie RV or Bouge RV or something like that we just got.
Focus on the efficiency of the panel and the shading quality. Like if it's shaded a little bit, it'll give you a deep efficiency rating on that. So like any shading at all, some of those panels, even the high dollar ones, if it's shaded just a little bit, it will completely 90% decrease in the panel. So look at your efficiency rating. We have residential home panels. They were pretty cheap, and we love them. They do just as well. I mean, obviously make sure that the framing is good, but they're, even though it's not a marine panel from a marine company, they're all exterior solar panels. So RV companies are good as well. But yeah.
I would also add that I would go with rigid panels and not the flexible panels. I know a lot of people don't like to do that because they want to put it flat on their deck. But if you've got the space, kind of like Sailor Sean, they actually turn out to be a really great shade where you can sit underneath it and put it in, like on your back, on the back of your boat or something like that. So it's definitely worth it to go rigid instead of flexible. It's just a lot more efficient.
It's a good place to land your drone too.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds good. That's
It keeps the rain out of your dinghy as well.
Yes.
I wish I would have gotten the bifacial ones because they're up so high.
Yes.
That it would have gotten the underneath done too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we have, the bifacial ones.
Well,
ours.
half of our, so we have a mixture of flexible and hard solar panels. The hard ones are all bifacial, and we actually get more than what they're rated at for a good day on the bifacial.
They actually take in from what's reflecting off the water.
I would say the flexible ones are probably 50% less efficient than the hard ones.
We got a really good deal on
with heat.
That's on a good day. That's on a good day too.
That's on a good day, yeah.
Yeah.
So the flexible ones are Renology, and they're supposed to be the best of the flexible ones. But we're probably the 3 175 watt ones that we have probably knock out about the same amount of energy as one of our hard panels.
I got a good deal on those. A friend had bought a bunch of them and sold them to us real cheap, so we got the 3 flexibles. But it's the hard panels that we get most of our electric from.
Our boat came with 2 flexibles, and then when we peeled them up, we realized how much damage it was doing to the hard top.
Yeah, we have a lot of cracking in the
Ours,
because they get
our
so
flexibles are mounted on top of them. We made a hard Dodger and a hard Bimini for our boat, and they're just mounted. They're screwed onto that, so it's not really doing anything to the boat because it's like.
And then from Harbor Freight, you can get this foam flooring, and then what I did was I put that underneath that as well to lift it slightly up. I think that little bit of difference also helps.
Yeah, so ours are not attached directly to any part of the actual boat. It's just they're on the Bimini and the Dodger.
I feel like we could make this just one Sunday topic, just talking about solar.
I just wrote that down. Solar discussion. So
yes.
Solar power discussion. Samantha had asked in the chat, does anyone know which panels Parley Revival or Sailing Machete have? I'm not familiar with what they have specifically.
I know both channels, but I don't know.
Yeah, what they have. I'm sure their YouTube is out there somewhere on that. So that's definitely a whole YouTube episode in one.
I would say don't focus so much on the name of them, because their panels are so, like, the technology in the panels now are so much better than even a couple years ago, and really just focus on the efficiency. They're cheap. The panels are cheap. It's everything else that's expensive. So
I'm always shocked at how cheap a solar panel really is.
Yeah, it's not so much about the panel. It's all about the battery storage, to be honest with you, though, and getting the right batteries. So.
The batteries and the inverter. If you get that part right, the panels you can get whatever.
Yeah, we had the panels for days. We just didn't have the storage, and now we finally have the ability to store it with our batteries.
So our panels are 4 years old now, and we got them through Signature Solar. And at the time, I think we paid $220 each for
the hard panels.
Yeah.
And
I bet those panels probably cost $100 now. I mean, it's so crazy how cheap they've gotten.
So during Hurricane Milton, one of our it's one of the blocks that we pull our dinghy up on, because we have the solar arch, broke one of our solar panels, but it has changed nothing as far as how much energy we're getting. Like, we're not going to replace it until it stops working, because it's still working just like nothing ever happened. It's still got a big crack across it from the block hitting it. So they're pretty durable.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just replying to one person. Somebody else asked, what do you recommend on inverter and batteries? I'm trying to think what ours is.
Victron. We have
Victron.
Victron. Yeah.
And then,
we have. Yeah, I think Victron make the easiest to put together stuff. We went with Battleborn batteries because at the time that was the only battery that the insurance companies would allow you to put on the boats. If I was to do it all again now, I'd probably go with something like a Redodo. I think they're just good quality.
I forget the name we use the batteries wise, but I think if third's in here, we have the same batteries. It's Blue Haven or something like that. Blue Heron. It's a great battery. They're cheaper and they still warranty the product. Small outfit, so that's what we want.
Rhapsody, did you have something to add?
I don't. You guys covered it all.
Okay. Cool. So the next, like you said, we're going to put a pin in solar. Maybe we'll do that a whole episode one time. The next two questions, we're going to skip. Actually, one was about sourcing supplies sustainably. We kind of talked about that, the farmers markets and reducing waste before you get on. So we've kind of discussed that. So we're going to mush these two next questions together. It's going to be about responsible anchoring. So how can you avoid anchoring on a coral reef or seagrass or other sensitive marine habitats? And then also with that is, how do you balance the desire to explore remote places with keeping it sustainable for the next group of sailors coming through? So we're going to kind of put those two together. And this works perfectly with Mark's question is, do sailing maps or charts tell you where to avoid the seagrass in the ocean? So Fresh to Salty, you're up.
So some maps do tell you where the seagrass is, but a lot of maps don't, and that can be a big thing. I mean, personally, I wouldn't anchor over the top of a reef anyway.
I mean, let's be realistic. We don't want our anchor going into anything but sand.
Because that's going to give us the best holding.
Yeah, or mud, but preferably sand.
I mean, and if there's a choice of a mooring ball, then I would definitely think about taking that. I mean, in the next couple of years, you're not going to be able to go down through the exhumas without having to take a mooring ball.
I think that's what they're pushing for
that's,
there, yeah.
That's what they're going to be pushing for. I mean, if you look at the Keys, I mean, if you go to the north of the Keys, there's a huge seagrass bed on the other side of Man of War. I mean, we've anchored near there, but you've got to watch out for the patches of sand.
Luckily, in the Bahamas and the Keys, we've always been able to see where we're dropping our anchor. Like if the water's clear enough, you're not going to drop on anything but sand. If you are, you're probably going to drag anyway. So
here goes Sailor Sean. Thank you, Sean. Case in point.
There you go.
I
You
love
can
it.
see what you're anchoring in. You can see it because the water's so clear.
That's awesome.
It doesn't benefit us in any way to anchor in on a coral reef or to anchor on seagrass because then you're just going to drag.
Yeah.
So we're looking for sand anyway. And then as far as like how to sustain for the, what was the last part? How do you sustain?
Just keeping remote places, good for the next group of sailors that come through.
I think it's very important to constantly make sure you're not leaving trash. And if you see trash, take the trash, which means you're going to keep it on your boat until you find somewhere to dispose of it. But also, I think it's huge to not be fishing for food that you can't eat or that you're not going to eat. Because if you take it all, there's nothing left for the next people. So we try to just take what we're going to eat that day or that day and the next day. But we don't try to like fill the freezer when we're in those places.
I like that. Finally?
Yeah, so I mean, we have a great thing called Navionics, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this chat does. So you can, it's very accurate, highly accurate on what your floor bottom is. And then, like what was said, as long as you're not in Daytona Beach in a slop of water, you can see the bottom kind of look, visual. And then we have a habit, or I would say I have a habit of diving the anchor every single time. So I know exactly what the anchor is doing, where it's at. If it's too close or if it's in the drag path of anything that we don't want it to be, then we'll reset. But we don't anchor near reefs. We're young enough to swim a little bit more distance. We don't have to be on top of the reef. Take a mooring when we can. If you want to get that close to the reef, Sean knows there's mooring balls all over the Keys, so that's usually what we try to grab anyway, outside on the reef line. And we kind of drug our kids along with us and got them out of school to go to remote places. So I wouldn't say we'd avoid remote places. That's literally where we want to go. But it's definitely an emphasis on if there's something wrong with it or cleaning it up. That's what we try to do. We don't leave any trace of us, but we're out to go to the Berry Islands. We don't care about Nassau. We'd rather go to the Berry Islands. So that's kind of where we thrive.
Love it. Karen?
Well, everybody's already said everything. I was going to say the Navionics because it tells you where to anchor. You can find the little images on you can find marinas or anchorages, rocks, whatever you need to find. But then again, like here, all you have to do is look.
I'm so excited to see.
Yeah. Wait,
there you go.
There we go.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
For some
Wait,
reason,
you guys can see her?
I can't
I can't see her. I can't see her.
Okay. I was like, I don't see anything.
Weird.
I can't see the Rhapsody.
I see we're blocked.
I think she might be freezing. Is she back yet?
I just see the coffee cup.
I can't hear you either.
I think TikTok's TikToking is all it's doing.
Let me try something here. Yeah, I can see her, but I also see the overlay of the coffee cup. So weird.
Coffee cup? What coffee cup?
Yeah. Can you guys see her yet, or still no?
To see a coffee cup.
Aw.
I can hear her just fine.
Okay. Live slow. Star, I'm going to kick you out again.
Okay.
That's so weird. I'm going to kick you out and then come back in. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, Cameo.
I guess the number one thing with anchoring for us is when you finally get to an anchorage, you want to be done. Everybody does. But it's just taking that extra 10 to 15 minutes and come in slow. I don't know how many boats we see just come in, slam down anchor. I'm like, there's no way you were looking. There's no way you were studying the bottom. So for us, it's like, yeah, we've reached the end, but I've got that 5 or 10 minutes. I want to let my engines either cool down or so
We can see
my
you.
wife dives on the anchor every time, but for me, it's really just come in and make a circles a few times and look for that spot, because it's not just where you drop the anchor; it's wherever your road's going to go too. And so we kind of look for those tracks, and I mean, we're not going any place nobody hasn't been, so you can kind of just find that channel that others have used is what we do.
And also with the with navionics, I mean, obviously the ocean floor is like ever changing. So even though on the map right here it says there's sand, you know, that may have drifted, or you know, seagrass may have built up or whatever. So like he said, I'm typically the driver when we anchor, and he stands up front. And again, most of the time, like, we do almost like a drive-by before we actually anchor to make sure that it's like, okay, well, this is where we think we want to anchor. And there have been times where we've pulled up and it's been like, oh, well, there's rocks or coral or reef all over the place, you know, but on the map it says sand. So again, we just kind of cruise through and see, and, you know, maybe we find something better. And then, like he said, you know, we dive and make sure that even where our chain goes, it's not going to run into anything.
Perfect. Sean?
All right, so here in the Florida Keys, if you look on like a satellite map and you like zoom into different anchorages, we call them crop circles. And so someone had been in one spot for so long and they'd spun around so many times that the chain has killed all of the seagrass. So what I like to do is I like to leave the chain in one spot, and I like to do it's called a Bohemian mooring. So you'll use 2 anchors and you'll put one down, you'll come back real far, you'll put another one down, and then you come back in the middle, and then the chain more or less stays right where you lay it. It might move around a little bit, but it's not gonna just up, I guess you'd say up, or what word am I looking for? Like
uproot.
Like you're trying to till up the soil. You know what I mean? So it keeps it all where
Agitate. Yeah.
Matt?
Hey, so it's me. So the one thing, y'all had all talked about navionics, but I want to use this as a public service announcement. If you're using navionics, then you make your own reviews and comments on the navionics page with good detailed information about anchorages for other sailors. I think that's extremely important. Not enough people do it. They usually go in and go, good anchorage, and that's it. And like, what the heck, you know? So, and then the other most important thing that I do for sustainability is I have multiple anchors on the boat. And depending on what bedding I'm in or something like that, you know, either a Bruce or a Danforth. I've got the Manus, which I love because I think that's going to help avoid you dragging, is using the right anchor at the right place, which is obviously not going to damage the seabed if you're not dragging or moving around a lot.
Perfect. Anna?
Yeah, I think based on what everyone has said, I think the importance when you're anchoring is to understand anchoring etiquette. Because if you understand anchoring etiquette, like ideally everybody wants to anchor appropriately because that's what's safest for your boat. We want to anchor in the sand and have a good hold. You don't want to be on a reef or in the grass or anything like that. So if you have figured out how to anchor, you're typically anchoring in sand and safely. And then I think Sean made a good point with being aware of the seagrass and tearing it up or uprooting it. But then as far as, I think the other question you had with this was the being in harmony with nature. And I think, I mean, for any outdoor enthusiast, everyone says leave a place better than how you found it. So picking up trash if you see it on the beaches, in the ocean, and following, if you're on the island in a remote place, following already made paths. So a lot of those are already made by animals or other people and not going off the path and destroying other plant species or anything like that. And respecting the wildlife and appreciating it from afar, not, I guess, like some tourist traps are like feeding the pigs, and that could be a whole different topic, but not, I guess, not desensitizing wildlife in a way that they don't need to be. Throwing your scraps overboard is one thing, but like going and trying to feed them, and you can really, I guess, debilitate them in learning how to hunt and fend for themselves. Or you can possibly injure them not knowing what they need to be fed or how to appropriately handle them.
Exactly. Rhapsody?
Yeah, I mean, we touched on just about everything, but definitely, respect the area that you're in. Don't overconsume. We, like I said, we had majority of our cruising has been on rivers, so we don't have the ability to see the bottom usually. So we rely on avionics, the notes on avionics, and GPS maps, stuff like that, to try to get a good feel on what's under the boat and what we're going to drop the anchor on. Fortunately, there aren't a lot of reefs in the river, so we don't have to worry too much about reefs. But rock, grassy areas and stuff like that. Wing dams are a big one for us. So yeah, we just respect the area, like you said. Try to leave it better than how you found it. And don't overconsume. We don't overconsume, and just we're very respectful of the area that we're in, and treat it right. Leave it.
And let me just add one more other thing, if you don't mind, Randy Joe. Sailor Sean knows this a lot because he's in the area that's getting attacked a lot about, all these people that are anchoring in Florida and messing up the grasslands and everything else. In all reality, it's a very small percentage of the sailing community that really does not respect the whole thing. And that, 1% of those people that are out there are ruining it for 100% of all of us. And that's why Florida is putting out these strenuous rules and everything else, because of that 1%. So the more we can be proactive, and I'm not trying to be political, but if we're more proactive of teaching people how to be responsible, I think it's going to help us out, and we're not going to get attacked so much.
Exactly.
That's a great point.
One of the other apps that we use for checking out anchorages is No Foreign Land. There's a really good review section in there, and people can post photos of the actual anchorage. I've used that so many times now.
No Foreign Land is my go-to for everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. People. We actually got a queue stop in Montserrat because of No Foreign Land. We had a great time there.
Yeah.
We use Sea People, same concept kind of, but yeah, it's more of we're part of Young Cruisers Association, so that's kind of where we live.
So on that topic, sort of anchoring spots, Mark had asked earlier, what are some or best fish areas, and what have you caught on board that's been good?
Hey guys, we're out of time here. We got to take off, so I just want to thank everybody for letting us jump in, and looking forward to the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Fair winds, man.
It's good to meet
For sure. Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
So I'm always dragging a line, when I'm sailing, and we'll eat that. That's our dinner if we catch something. And so I've caught tuna, I've caught mahi. I've caught, just about anything out there. Because of course, some things you don't want to eat, like barracuda and stuff like that. But I always drag a line, and so I would say either mahi or tuna are the best fish I've ever caught.
What area? Did I miss that? Did you say what area?
When I was sailing from Florida to Texas.
Perfect.
So along Florida, we've always caught mahi or tuna, which I'm not a fan of tuna, and we tend to try to release those. But the mahi we always keep. And then in the Abacos, we've caught huge mackerel, and they taste almost like mahi. They're just delicious.
Yeah, they're good.
And then spearfishing, Steven's got a lot of lionfish because they're real dumb and they'll just stare at you while you spear them. So,
They're tasty though.
they
They're
are
very
delicious.
good.
Be
They're
careful.
delicious. Yes. So yeah, we watched a YouTube video, figured out how to clean them. It's really not that hard to do it without getting poked, and then
But you need a lot of them.
Yes.
Because they're not very big.
And they're invasive, so take as many as you want. It's the one fish that you don't have to worry about. We've caught a lot of barracuda, but we try to let those right back off the boat.
One thing about where to fish, I think, was part of the question is, we don't adjust our course too much for fishing, but you really start to pay attention when you start getting over those deeper water channels. When you're leaving an island and that drop off, that's when I start to get excited. And you'll know you're there because that's when the sargassum will pick up because guaranteed to follow up your line.
And the birds.
Yes.
Always a big pack of birds.
But yeah, if you're out sailing to a destination and you see to your right, left, port, starboard, however you want to do that, a pack of birds over to the side, I'll go 10, 15 degrees off course to head over there. Because I haven't found too many fish that I don't like to eat, and I love free food. So,
And I know this is going to sound weird, but I've been a captain and fished, on power boats and everything else. If you smell watermelon, throw a line in the water because that's where the fish are.
Watermelon.
So what are you guys all using for your tackle, like your bait?
Wait, Sailor Sean has an example. Hold. He's got a visual. Captain Matt's got a visual. Ours don't work, so you don't want to know what we use because we do a lot of fishing and no catching.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I like those. Yeah.
But what are you using it for the
pink squid?
The pink squid. That's the only thing we've ever caught anything on. Is pink squid.
Writing that down.
Yep.
So
Just
for
exactly
3 years,
exactly what Sailor Sean has. And same as Captain
Matt. Okay.
The pink seemed to do better than any other color.
Pink is the best. Pink is the best. I've used every different color, but that right there, I've caught everything under the sun on that particular lure.
Wow.
The only time that hasn't been the lure for us is we were in North Carolina. There's a lot of speckled trout in the marina that we would stay in there, and I'd fish off the dock, and some older guy said, "Get you one of these here." It was just this neon yellow lure that the tail waggled or whatever, and I 100% filled our freezer within a week with speckled trout. But they were abundant there, great big huge ones. Yeah.
Let me we'll just take a quick time out real quick. We are kind of getting to the end of the actual questions, but now if anybody in the comments, anybody that's watching has any other questions, feel free to type them in the chat and I'll try to keep up as quick as possible. And then we can keep talking fishing or whatever. But if you do have to go, feel free. I know some people have 3 children waiting on them. So if you do have to go, that's fine to pop out. But we can keep chatting till about 3:30. And then it looks like Captain Matt's going to play a song for us later.
You want me to play? You want me to play your soundtrack? I'm happy to do it if we're going to take a break real quick.
Play us out just a couple minutes.
All right, so you guys write your questions in, and I'll sing while you're writing your questions. So here we go. This is a song that Sailing Cameo and Randy Joe love a lot. So here we go. Every dawn breaks to the same old routine. Task assigned and deadlines loom. Cycle repetition of the workday scene. Pressure never ends at the company zoo. The boss is always on my case, scrutinizing my every move. It's time to look for my Just remember to bring the tequila and the lime.
Woo! I love it.
And anybody, you can get that on Spotify, Apple Tunes, anything else. Just search Captain Matt and the Boat Crew. And I appreciate you putting it on play when you go to bed at night and playing it over and over and over and over and over again while you're sleeping.
Get those numbers up.
So much better
I
when you're
love
not
it.
editing.
What's that?
Blaine says it sounds so much better when you're not editing it.
So great. Let me see here. Is anyone? Here's another quick question. Is anyone in here? Raise your hands on YouTube. Raise your hands if you're on YouTube, so our viewers can go find us. And actually, so we've got yeah, mine is like way needs to be updated. But yes, you can find us. And ours. So I will put in the plug for this whole live and every Sailors Roundtable we've done in months past is on our YouTube channel, and it's under Destination Adrift. I finally found a way to, I think I can make these lives downloadable for you guys too. So if you ever wanted to download it and have it for wherever, whatever, I think we can do that too. So if anyone missed it or want to see a previous one, Destination Adrift YouTube, and then I usually tag, if these folks are on YouTube, I tag them in that description, and you can find them there too. Yep, Sam, you got it. Destination Adrift on YouTube, and I'll put up a link too. Another quick question we had: has anyone?
Randy, I don't know if you know this, but you know now TikTok allows you to let them download the live that they were in. You can give them the choice to be able to download it. It's pretty awesome.
Yes, that's next time. Now I know. I've seen it, and I'm gonna do it. Yes, it's so cool. Another question has anyone traveled across the Pacific? Or gone to Alaska, or maybe Greece or Italy? Has anyone done a big passage? Finally, what did you guys do?
Not on this boat, but I used to sail a lot more when I was younger as well. And I've been all over the Med. Been to Greece, Piraeus, Athens.
Wow.
Was pretty much a letdown. Athens was a letdown. Parthenon was amazing, but the rest of the city was pretty... a lot of stray dogs, graffiti, and trash. It was really, really sad to see, but yeah.
Wow. We know who to contact then for awesome
Corfu's
med
nice
sailing.
though. Corfu's is just beautiful.
Yeah, and if you're from the States, Stavros is not the same when you want a Greek salad as actually in Greece. There's actually no lettuce in a Greek salad. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Really?
Interesting. That's so funny.
Huh.
We started sailing in Seattle, and we have no desire to go north of there or back there. It's a lot easier to go untangle something or jump in the water to check an anchor or something when
The water's not 40
Not
degrees.
freezing.
Yes. My dad had a sailboat. I grew up sailing, and he would always go inside the cabin when it got cold. So, yeah, I'm kind of done with that.
We eventually want to get to the Pacific, and I'm sure at some point we want to go to Australia. I have family there now, so that's kind of on the list, but no place, time, when, plan, we don't know. So it's just kind of like wherever the wind blows us, but that it is on the list at some point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nowhere is off the table for us as far as sailing somewhere. I've traveled a lot of places, over 40 countries, but just not by sailboat. I've been on a lot of boats in different places, just not on my own boat. So it's definitely something we want to continue to do. But most of my sailing experience is in the U.S. and Caribbean.
This is our first time out of the country as far as sailing, so I'm sure we'll keep going. Right now we're on our way to the DR and Puerto Rico. Isla de Culebra de Puerto Rico is our final destination this year, and then we'll go from there to figure out what we'll do next. So
I love it.
So I've been around the world twice in the Navy, and so I've seen a bunch of different places, and as much as I love like the Greece area and everything else that's out there, and crossing the Pacific and seeing some of the islands and everything else, man, you don't know how lucky we are to have the Caribbean close to us. It's by far one of my favorite places in the world to hang out and have fun.
I love it here, y'all. It's like literally waking up in heaven every day.
Yeah.
Aww.
We lived in Puerto Rico for like 7 years. So if you have any questions like about land Puerto Rico, let me know. I can point you in the right direction.
Thank you for that. Renee's family actually, he's from Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, thank you. Any other place we need any other ideas from any like in the Bahamas? If you have any more advice, I'm sure we would. But
Don't skip Cuba. I know people have political things, but Cuba was the most beautiful.
I agree.
Some of those bays that there's never been anybody who's lived there ever, right? So I mean, it was for us. Cuba was worth the risk on the government side. And I'll just leave it at that. But Cuba was.
I have a lot of experience in the Caribbean. I worked on a sailing charter that was scuba dive intensive in the Leeward Islands. So if anyone has questions about diving in the Caribbean, I'm happy to answer any of those questions.
We'd appreciate any suggestions on where to go or what to do in the Bahamas at this point, because there's just so much information out there. And
Yeah.
Star, maybe you already said it, but what's your next island chain? Where are you headed to next?
After Lutras, we're going to the Exumas.
Perfect. I have a lot of suggestions.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're doing the Queen's Bath here, the Blacksmere, and the Blue Hole, the Devil's Backbone, and the Pink Sand Beach. We're definitely going to do that. And we have one more month in the Bahamas before we have to request an extension or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We're just playing it by ear. But yeah, if y'all have any suggestions on anywhere to go here, please let me know.
Cool. Looks like we have one more question from Mark. He asked, do you guys broadcast your GPS location so friends could follow you online?
What is that? Or
Does anyone broadcast their location online or use like No Foreign Land or Sea People or any sort of app to show where your boat's at?
I was going to say on Sea People or No Foreign Land, that's, I mean, I don't have it by GPS on the Navionics or shared that way, but on No Foreign Land and on Sea People, we do.
Yep, same. We do a Sea People app, like I said, and we also have an inReach, so all of our emergency contacts that if I have it on, unless we're anchored somewhere for a long time, I'll turn it off for a few days, but if it's on, it's automatically broadcasting. I forget the setting. I have it on maybe twice a day. It will send a text to my emergency contacts and whoever I add on the float plan. So
we also we have No Foreign Land, and then he has it on
Garmin inReach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we do see people in No Foreign Land also.
Same with me. Of course, I keep it limited to a very small select amount of people.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm on my boat by myself, I don't. I turn that off.
Yeah.
I don't want people knowing I'm here.
No.
I mean, I've had a scary thing where a boat came up, the power boat came up to me because I had it on, like, hey, it's Captain Matt. And I'm like, I need to turn that off from people that I don't know.
Mark is wanting somebody to spell something.
I put No Foreign Land for him, and someone else did put Sea People. So those are the two major ones.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. Well, if there's no more questions, I hope everybody in here that was joining us follows all of our awesome sailors. They may or may not be back next month. I don't even know what the topic is, but obviously solar, maybe fishing, thank you, is a popular topic too. So maybe we can break it down even more into smaller topics. Let me find, we had a good suggestion in here from Joanne. She said she would love to see more videos about the inside of the boats and then also land adventures. So
all right, Matt.
for future posts, just maybe keep that in mind, you guys, too, that would be an appreciated video. So, well, thank you to all of our sailors for being here. It was great to meet all the new folks and also, so raise your hand one more time. Who goes live? Who wants to start going live?
We're going to start.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So everybody, that's awesome. Good, good, good. Well,
Randy
you guys
Joe,
know-
I just want to say this about you. Thank you for hosting this.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
tell you, every time I come on and be a part of this, I learn something from all of you salty dogs that are out there. At least something, and it's really, really cool. And there are so many, and I'm gonna say this to the people that are in the chat. There are so many of you that are just afraid to jump and do this lifestyle, and or you're waiting until it's the right time. There's no right time. The right time is right now. Do it as soon as you're thinking about it. It's that easy. It's so much even cheaper than probably what we did when we were getting into it when it comes to batteries and sustainability.
It's a
Do
buyer's
it.
market right now.
You know, just go out and
Buyer's
jump.
market. Yeah, and I'm sure reach out to any of us. I mean, we're fine answering any questions by messenger. So, you know, reach out to us, and especially on lives, ask all the questions you have. That's the best time to capture our attention and learn. So, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for being here. And we'll chat later about next month's topic and let everybody know. And hopefully more of you in the chat are going to be up in these boxes at some point talking about your boat. So thanks again, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your time. And I'm super jealous for everyone out there in the Bahamas and Clearwater right now. Very jealous.
Thank you, Randy Joe.
I'll be there someday.
So much for
Bye, guys. You're welcome.
Fair winds.
Have a great Sunday.
Now we look awkward.